Well, good evening and welcome to another episode of Sky Blue Fans TV on this snowy and cold January evening. I nearly said morning then, evening. Oh, yeah, that's where we all are. We're going to do a shorter show tonight. We've only got a couple of transfers to talk about. Only a couple of transfers, you know, it's not a lot. Ken was right. We've all got to bow down to Ken's superior knowledge. Ken was right. And we'll see how many more he thinks are coming in soon. And then obviously we've got our FA Cup third round trip to Stoke to look ahead to as well. So let's get the team in. Tonight we have got Vicky. Good evening.
Good evening.
We've got Ken.
Good evening.
And we've got Claudio, as always.
Good evening.
So, first thing to talk about, I assume, is obviously the sad news of the passing of Terry Yorath. So thoughts go out to his family, especially Gabby, who was live on Match of the Day and had to leave halfway through with that news. So that can't be nice and that can't be easy. Obviously, myself and Vicky are a little bit too young to remember much about Terry. So I'm going to hand over to Claudio to kick us off. What are your memories of Terry Yorath? Give us some insight on what sort of a player and person he was.
Well, firstly, it was an amazing signing for us because he'd only just won, well, he'd played in the European Cup final with Leeds and he'd only just won the league with Leeds in 74 and we signed him at the start of 76. So that would be the equivalent of us getting promoted this season and signing Rodri from Manchester City, basically. It was that sort of a signing. He was a tough tackling midfielder. People talk about hard men and they refer to Hardman as being a bit dirty. He could put it about, but he was actually got a bit of skill about him as well. He could play the ball around. He was a very, very tough playing midfielder who could actually play football. And we used to play a 4-2-4 formation then, and it was so exciting in those days. We scored 75 goals in one season. And we only had two central midfielders and two wingers, and he covered so much of that ground. Him normally partnered with Barry Powell, who's thankfully still with us. He goes to games, actually, Barry does. But it was really good. A fantastic captain. And like I said, it was a shock when we signed him. And it's interesting now, Jack, because if you looked at his stats, I think he scored about 3 or 4 goals for us in 99 matches. If people look at that and go, oh, what a load of rubbish. He's only got 4 goals in 99 games. And this is why stats are a load of nonsense at times. Because if you'd have signed him based on stats from Leeds United, you'd have thought, well, what we're getting there? You just had to watch him as a player to know what you were getting. He was a quality, strong midfielder and an excellent captain. And I was lucky enough because, as you know, we're members of the Leamington Warwick Supporters Club. And our very first meeting, Terry Yorath came to that with Ian Wallace and Barry Powell. And I think it was Mick Coop who came to the pub at the King's Head. And so as a kid of what I would have been 11, 12 at the time, that's exciting. And in a day and age where you didn't really get these kind of meetings like you do now. Now we kind of take it for granted because it happens every so many months. Then it was really difficult to get that sort of a meeting. And he's brilliant. He's such a nice bloke as well. And his life is, in some ways, was quite tragic because his young son died at 15, which hit him hard. And then he was manager at Bradford when they had the fire disaster. So, his life really, on the pitch, absolutely amazing, but on the personal side was quite tragic. And of course, I think a lot of people know that if you read anything about him, he used to go to his son's gravestone most days, basically, and he hit the drink, and unfortunately, in the end, it got the better of him. So, I put a message in, as you know, start the week saying it looks like it's going to be terminal and something's going to happen this week, basically. And then, of course, when that was announced, I thought, yeah, the person who told me that was correct then, wasn't he? Because it was like only about 2 or 3 days later. But he was a wonderful player for our club. And I'll tell you what, we could do with a Terry Yorath now in our midfield, without a shadow of a doubt, because he's the sort of player who would fit into this era. I think the last example of Terry Yorath would be Michael Doyle in modern day football for Coventry City. I can't think of anybody else who comes close to him. Even now, in the team we've got now, there's nobody. And he was the first Welshman to play in a European Cup final. I just thought I'd put that in there as well.
There you go. It's nice to have a modern day comparison because, like I say, I was born 20 years after he finished playing for Coventry City. It's nice for me to have a comparative figure, and like you say, if Michael Doyle's the closest thing, I can sort of imagine the tough tackler, the breaking up play, and a distributor.
Exactly.
That was it. No, not many goals in his game, but he didn't need to because that wasn't his job. Like you say, there were 4 men in front of him that were doing that. So, Ken, what are your memories of Terry playing for the Sky Blues?
I couldn't add much more to what Claudia said, really. He's a fantastic signing he was when he was brought in from Leeds. I seen him sort of, I was very young then at the time, but I certainly remember him. He's a fantastic captain. And just an all-round great player. I mean, for Leeds, he was tremendous. I remember seeing him for Leeds, and then when we signed him, I thought, bloody, that's a great signing. And he was. He was an international as well for Wales, and he didn't score many goals, but he got stuck in. He's not scared of a tackle. But yeah, Claudia's probably right. Michael Doyle would probably be the ideal person to put him alongside in the modern day era. But yeah, we could do with a player like that now. There's not many of them about now, but yeah, he's a fabulous player for us and a great captain. And it's very sad that what's happened, and a bit bad loss to all his family and everybody that knew him. But yeah, he was a great player, and I say his career was even for Wales. I think they were very close. Weren't they very close, Claudia, to get into a World Cup final? I think they were only
twice. He was manager, wasn't he? Twice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he went on to manage Wales as well. And they're very close to taking them to a World Cup final as well as a manager. So yeah, all good memories for Terry, and yeah, it's a very sad day.
Fantastic. Have you got any plans, Claudio, about talking about him on the History podcast? Have you already done an episode, or?
Me and Jim will do a proper tribute on Tuesday. We've got an episode out now with people's memories, which I've got to say, we had a chap who wrote in, and it's absolutely fascinating the stuff he's come up with. And apparently he knew me, and I hadn't got a clue. There you go. He used to sit in the same block as me and my dad, and he talks about that, and I didn't have a clue. So it's interesting. But yeah, we'll talk about Terry on Tuesday a bit more in depth.
Fantastic. Right, have we got any comments to kick us off then tonight?
Well, yes, mainly the first one's around the signings. Alan Eden says, as much as I'm happy with 2 we have in so far, we need a striker in 2, somebody quicker and more mobile, plus a combative midfielder and centre-back. Assassins Unite, hi all, Doug's listened again. 2 awesome loan signings to get us over the line. We can rest and rotate Tats and EMC like other sides do. It bodes well for the running. Go for it, City. Uncle Jonga. Positive move by Doug and the club to get the first 2 through the door. Just need another defender, midfielder, striker. That'll do us. James Hollyoak says defence needs sorting. Mark Patman says, evening guys, 2 fantastic signings. I really like Romain Essay, isn't it? I've been watching his clips on YouTube. He looks great and skins defenders with ease. Rounds a possibility. Was happy with the 2 new wingers after watching videos of them. Mick Kelly says, evening guys, 2 good signings, Frank and Doug. Rich T says, hi all, I think the key is how quickly the newbies integrate into the close-knit squad and how Frank wants to play. Rounds a possibility. This means EMC could play more a central role in the box, as he has been scoring a lot lately from there. Coventry says, RIP Terry Yorath, great player for us. Agreed, Coventry, says Rich T, watching him in our original tramline kit. Lots of RIPs for Terry from M King, Assassins Unite as well. It's snowing, says Mark Rainbow. We're going to discuss that actually in regards to the game because that'd be interesting. David Saunders says, greatest captain in my opinion. Rest in peace, Terry. Terry was a great player, says Frank Wood. One of the fans' favourites, really nice person as well. And that's what's interesting about him, because like a lot of people, similar to Michael Doyle, you don't know what they're going to be like off the pitch, and they're so nice. It's ridiculous. I mean, Michael Doyle, like the most approachable person you can find, and Terry was very similar. It's whereas Graham Souness, an absolute monster on and off the pitch. I've got my own experience of him. Wayne Littlewood, Super Ken, any predictions? James Hollyoak, he helped us get to our best place in the top division. We finished 7th, that's right, we did, although we finished 6th was our highest place. We finished 7th in 1978. Would have got to Europe had Arsenal won the FA Cup, but they lost to an unfancied Ipswich Town. What's the news about Calvin Phillips being linked, says Matt SB. Matt SB, I'll get my words out in a minute, sorry.
SBA.
SBA, yeah. Steve Curry, evening, guys. That's 2 in. We need more, please, Doug. I'm sure Frank will sign the contract once he gets a few more in. RIP Terry Yorath, City legend. Are we looking at Joel Perreault from Leeds, says Mick Kelly. Gossel Legrand, these new guys, are they playing Saturday?
Well, I'd like to think so, yeah.
Yeah, I've got the impression. Matt SB says we need 6 hours of non-stop snow tonight. Supposed to be worse around 8:30 until 11. See, this could put the game off, actually.
Yeah.
Dave Saunders says, signed if only they had Jimmy Hill's house. Terry lived in, this is what Minnie says, Terry lived in Jimmy Hill's house in Cannon Hill Road for a while. Quite a few players lived down there because Colin Steen was down there as well. Sadly, I didn't know much about Terry, says Wayne Littlewood, but there seems to be a sense of huge loss today. Glenn Watkin. And he says, had a great career as a manager and coach as well. Mark Rainbow, Terry Yorath was uncompromising, take punishment and give it out. That and important was with the 4 flair players we played with. Terry Merriman, Terry Yorath, a brilliant captain for us and Wales. Mark Patman says, God bless Terry Yorath, what a fantastic player and great man. And Mark Rainbow, he was an obvious leader too, a bit like Dennis Mortimer. It felt like we sold him too soon, but I was 10 or 11 at the time. Ken Merriman wants to know what the lottery numbers are, Ken. For Saturday.
I wish I knew, mate. I wish I knew.
Chris Brook, good start to the transfer window. Who do you think we need to sign? Mick McCann says, do you think we should go for a full-strength team on Saturday or be prepared to suffer another loss by playing a weakened team? Mark Friel says, even all, what does the panel think if we went in for Callum Wilson on a contract till the end of the season? He leaves West Ham, RIP Terry Yorath. One from Alex Robinson. I'll read this out. I'll go back to you, Jack. I actually think SA and Yang could both be excellent signings for us. That said, we do need to be mindful of Coventry City's current squad size and registration limits. If we want more than 3 players to the door this window, it likely means a player or 2 has to move on. The only real alternative would be leaving a long-term injured players unregistered. Otherwise, there's not much room to manoeuvre. Nicholas James, quickly, my dad always spoke about Terry Yorath's ability to help the younger players and put a ball on a player's foot when he's passing. Right, back to you, Jack.
Right, well, let's take you back to Tuesday. It seems like ages ago now, but our first signing.
I'm very happy and excited to join the club with such a strong tradition and history. When I played against Coventry, I really felt the positive atmosphere, and that made me even more excited. This badge means work. I'm Min Hyuk Yang. I'm Sky Blue.
There you go. So he said how to pronounce his name in the video. So that gives everyone no excuses. Don't get it wrong. Come to you first, Vicky. When this was announced on Tuesday, it sort of broke in the morning and was confirmed by 9 p.m. Was it? I think. What do you make of the signing? What do you think?
I think I was excited by that actually. Something early, something we'd spoken before, hadn't we, about the issue Doug's got with loans, but for me that just seems some exciting young players. You see what that Mane is doing at Wolves, like someone young with no real sort of fear or pressure can really come into a situation where you're just trying to get over the edge and could just reignite a team that's maybe hit a bit of a dip. And so for me, someone young and exciting like that, and I didn't actually think I knew much about him until I realised that I'd actually watched him score the last minute winner against Charlton earlier in the season. So I actually do know a lot about him, and so that's exciting as well.
Fantastic. What about you, Ken? First of your 2 predictions through the door, nice and early.
Yeah, I'd like to get them in early. It's not finished yet, by the way, I don't think. But anyway, that's another thing.
Come on to that.
We've got, look, he looks excited. I've seen the videos of him. He looks very skillful, doesn't he? And maybe a little bit lightweight, I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see. I was just amazed that he didn't really play that many games for Pompey, did he? He seemed to be on the bench. He played against us, didn't he? Early in the season, did he? For Pompey. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
I can't remember.
I haven't checked.
Unless he came on. I don't know. But I haven't really seen him in and around the Pompey side from what I've seen Pompey on telly. But I've seen him score.
He actually started the game.
Did he?
Subbed off. I don't know what minute.
Yeah. Well, look, he looks exciting. Looks very skillful, and it's got a lot of pace by the looks of it as well. So that's what we're after in it, and it'd be a great addition to the squad, I think.
And Claudio, we've been saying that we need players that have got championship experience. I know he's a young player. He's still, is it 19 he is, I think? Still 19. However, he had half a season on loan at QPR last year and then the start of this season at Portsmouth. So he's played almost a full year in the championship already. So someone who's that young with a year's experience at this level, is this something we should really be excited about?
I think we should be excited at the fact that he can run and he's fast and he looks skillful and in fact, I'll tell you another good thing. He speaks good English, which is a massive plus on Tats, because Tats was struggling, wasn't he, when he first came in with the language. So already he's got through the language barrier, which is a massive thing. I mean, I've played football with some foreign lads when I've been on holiday and stuff, and you can't call for a ball. You don't know what you're doing. It's so difficult. And I know it sounds obvious, but it's true. So that's good. But he's got the skills, hasn't he? And it's weird with loans at different clubs. Now, some of the Portsmouth fans were saying that they didn't play him enough, but they're in a different position to us. They want to stay in this division. He's going to have a lot more freedom with our team, the way we play, because we like to go forward. He's perfect. Yeah. If we were in the same place as Portsmouth, we'll be looking for a young player with different strengths, wouldn't we? So I think this is a good signing. It's an exciting signing, and we need pace. We've been saying this for a long time. When we break forward, we need players who can actually run with the ball quickly. And who's to say he's going to be on the bench? He might not be on the bench. It'd be interesting with both the loan players. I mean, I must admit, I would prefer if we actually signed people, but we're not really in that position, are we? But if you were to buy this lad, I'm telling you now, you're probably looking at 10 million plus.
Yeah.
That's what they go for. Look at his parent club. That's the key there. You got to look at where they're coming from, I mean, Southampton spent, they bought 3 players from Man City the other season. They spent between 10 and 15 million on each one. I mean, I know they got relegated, but that's beside the point. But they still had to pay out big money, So I think it's a really good sign, and we had to get something in quick, because after the Birmingham game, everybody was a bit deflated, weren't we? Regardless of where we were in the league. And you looked at our bench with 5 defenders on there, So yeah, if these 2 lads had come in we're here already for the Birmingham game, that would have made our squad stronger straight away on the day. Simple as that. Yeah. So it's a plus, isn't it?
And it's clear that Frank was crying out for wingers on New Year's Day at Charlton. Didn't play any wingers at all. EMC and Tats have basically had no rest when they've been fit and available. We've had to employ players like BPA, Jack Mazzoni, KKH, Miguel Brau on the wings this season. So this is clearly an area we had to strengthen. And then not only did we sign Min Hyuk Yang,
well done.
The following day, I've been practicing. The following day, this came through as well.
Coventry, as we know, is a massive club, a great fan base, great players. It's the best place to develop. My personal aims is obviously to be back playing regularly and obviously to help the team as much as possible. Can't wait till I touch the pitch for the first time. We've still got a lot of work to do, so got to get back to business. That starts on Saturday.
There you go. Ken, we'll come to you first. That was 2 signings by day 7 of the transfer window being open. Your prediction had already come true. Happy with this one?
Very happy. It's nice to get them in early, get them 2 in the bag. And I'm very happy with this one as well because he's a quality player. Seen him quite a few times playing for Palace, and just what we want really. I mean, he's got the Premiership experience as well. He comes from a good club, Crystal Palace, and he obviously just can't get enough game time there. And with them signing a couple more players, he's pushed further down the list. So he's going to hardly get any game time. So it makes sense for him to go out on loan. And he'll be a great addition to the squad, I think. Somebody that can score some good goals as well, I think, by the looks of it.
And again, Vicky, talking on experience, he spent 2.5 years at Millwall and the last 12 months at Crystal Palace. He scored in his Premier League debut and has an FA Cup winners medal. Only a good thing that he's had some Premier League experience, not only as well as the Championship.
That's it. So he knows about the Championships. That's a bonus because it's a very different league, isn't it? So bringing in young players, if they've already got a feel for what the Championship's about, that helps them just bed in a bit quicker. I think, unfortunately, some of the Premier League youth players, if you bring them in and they've never played in the Championship, that can be a bit of a culture shock to start with. But we've got the benefit that both the young lads that have come in have got that experience in the Championship. And like you said, he FA Cup winners medal, scored on his Premier League debut. I think he's been playing in the Conference Cup for Crystal Palace as well, so a bit of European experience. And the manager there, what is it, Glasson? I forget his Glasson. He talked positively about him and really just saying that he can't get regular football because the only position they've really got for him at the moment doesn't suit his game at his level of experience. So, like talking about just really building him up as a sort of positive future asset, and so that all sounds good, doesn't it? So yeah, another I think 2 exciting young players that just can lift the mood a little bit. So yeah, it's all good.
And then touching on this, I was just about to bring this up actually, but cheers, Dad, you've done it for me. He was at Millwall and Joe Edwards, so there is previous connection to our current managers / coaches. But also, Claudio, not only is he a wide player, he plays in the number 10 position as well. So this gives us some versatility. We've signed a right-footed winger in Min Hyuk Yang, who mostly plays off the left, can play on the right. And now SA's come in, can play on the right, can play in the number 10.
What's the Korean lad called again?
Min Hyuk Yang.
Can we just call him Yang?
There's no way Ken's going to get that right.
I'll just call him Yang for sure.
Yang. Easy enough, Ken. Easy enough.
He's got some swagger about him, SA. He's come from Millwall. Crystal Palace have paid, well, it will go up to 14 million, but there's something about him. He's got to be a swag about him. You can see it. And he's been at 2 clubs now where that's how they play in a way. Millwall's a tough crowd. You know, you've got to really be passionate and play football down there. They'll let you know as quick as anything if you're garbage or you're not trying. And Crystal Palace, they're one of the most exciting teams in the Premier League, I think, when you watch them play. And so he's been part of 2 clubs who know how to battle. I said this the other night, Millwall are in and around the playoffs most seasons. He's been part of that. And Palace, they're just a really good watch. And he's been involved. And if they've paid 12 million to start with, we'd love a player for 12 million, wouldn't we? That'd be a record signing for us. So, this is, I'd like Vicky and Ken said, exciting player. And I reckon he'll start more than not, if I'm honest. I think, there's no reason why he can't start. As simple as that. And he can score goals. He's fast, he's tricky. He's got a proper attitude about him. I like it. He's a good player.
And just looking as well, so SA has made 24 appearances for England under 18s, 19s, 20s and 21s. And Yang's actually made 23 appearances for South Korea under 17s and 2 appearances for the first national team. We're getting some good players with pedigree. I'll be honest, I had never heard of Yang when we bought him in the other day, and I was sceptical. He's been at Pompey, he's not been played very much, but he comes from this good pedigree that clearly both these players are recognised at international level. These are coups, are they not? We are top of the league. We can attract these sorts of players. Other teams can't do this. Do you guys agree with that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. We need quality. We can't just bring in... we need players of that sort of quality. You can't just bring in anybody, that's not ready and they're not better than what we've got. We've always said if you're bringing somebody in, it's got to be better or of equal ability of what we've got already. And I think these two players are.
Yeah, we need more than just backup, don't we? We need somebody who can actually start when you need them, and not a fill-in. You know, so
Yeah.
you don't want to weaken your starting 11, do you? Really, that's the idea of substitutions. And I noticed Birmingham City actually, because I was filling in my sticker album, which is going along quite nicely now. Although I've now got about 200 swaps, which is ridiculous. But and the Blues have got quite a number of Japanese and Korean players. So they've obviously gone for this work ethic of getting stuck in and loads of ability, stamina, effort, and all that kind of thing. The work rate of these lads is incredible, I think.
When you watch the national squad, you see that, don't you? That ethic. And he said as well that his favourite player that he's ever played alongside was Son, which presumably was for the Korean. And I mean, he's pretty much one of my favourite ever players. I mean, that would have been my dream that we could have signed him at some point at the end of his career. But if we get a younger version of him on loan for 6 months, and then that's, happy day.
And the thing is, Vicky, we've got to get behind him. I'll be so annoyed after 5 minutes. You hear people going, "Oh, don't think much of him," and he hasn't actually touched the ball or anything. Got to get behind this team now. We've got 20 games, is it? Or it is 21 matches.
20 league games plus one FA Cup game minimum.
Yeah, we are 10 wins away from promotion, I think.
Sorry. 20 league games. No playoff games this year. We don't have to count the playoffs.
No.
As we have in previous years.
We need to win 10 more matches, basically, and we're probably going up. I'm telling you that now. That's my prediction.
And we also had the news, this man, Norman Bissett, he's been recalled from his loan at Stade Rennes. He's been sent out to Kaiserslautern. I haven't been practicing that one, but I think I've done an okay job there. We've mentioned it before. Do you think this is definitely the end of his Coventry career if he's been brought in and sent straight back out again?
Yes.
And didn't they say the deal's got a deal to like an offer to buy in the summer as well? Isn't that part of the? Did I read that? I'm sure I read that the deal's got an offer to buy in the summer. I think unfortunately, I guess two managers now had an issue with his attitude. For me, it's his loss. I think he didn't. I think it's his loss. I think he's got all the potential in the world, but I don't. I think he's one of those players that's not going to reach it because unfortunately he hasn't got the attitude and drive to achieve what he could have probably done. So it's his loss, and we move on.
I get the impression, Vicky, that he felt like he should be playing, and I don't think he was prepared to hang around and be patient. And I suppose there's some fans who actually thought he should be playing. So there was a bit of that as well.
Ironically, though, when Lampard came in, he did play him for a winner games. Yeah. He was the one manager that actually gave him a shot of a fair few games in a row when he first came in. But he didn't do much, did he? And then he got dropped, and then it just all went down the hill from there. So I don't think he ever really rewarded Frank for giving him that chance. And then when they started talking about like issues with his attitude, I think that he probably felt disappointed as well that maybe he felt a bit let down that he'd given him a shot, and he never really repaid that. And it's a shame, really. But
I mean, the fact he couldn't train with the first team 2 days before the opening of the season says a lot. So that's all you need to know. So something obviously happened.
There you go. And finally, then the Oracle, Mr. Ken. How many more are coming in?
Well, I say I got my 2 in early. I was delighted with them.
It's like you've done the business.
Well, I mean, I'm only giving you information I receive. There is a couple more coming. There is 2 more coming.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect 2, and then he says 2 more.
I didn't expect 4. No, I didn't. But considering we've got them done early, and I think there'll be 2 more coming in. I honestly do. Yeah.
Who are they, and where are they playing?
Well, I think you'll be looking at a striker and a defender.
Interesting.
That's what I think.
Interesting.
We'll see what happens, but that's what I think, and that'll be done ASAP. I think.
There you go.
There is rumours about Callum Wilson, who, I mean, on a pay-as-you-play deal to the end of the season, which wouldn't be a bad shout, to be fair, because he'll score goals at this level.
In all honesty, Ken, that's a better shout than Patterson and Maguire.
Yeah. Yes.
At the end of the day, it is, isn't it? what
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
need short term. And people go, was injury prone. I mean, I wasn't too keen on Bamford, but with hindsight, you probably could say for what we need, he might have just been okay.
Yeah,
You know,
just to the end of the season, see where it goes.
But at the time with Bamford, we had 3 fit strikers. Now
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
1.5 fit strikers. So, yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. We couldn't have predicted 2 injuries, could we?
Yeah, and also we don't know what he was asking for.
Well, that's it. I mean, obviously,
And Sheffield United are desperate because he said they haven't got any strikers, is what they said. So they'd take anybody at any price.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's
but yeah, Callum Wilson would be excellent, I think. And he's always said he wanted to end his career here when he left. He said he'd be back and he'd like to end his career here. But so he's got a great chance. But obviously, that's down to Mr. Doug and Callum to sort out.
Well, we can see if Frank can take a punt at that. But in the meantime, I've put together this very briefly. I've put everyone's name in once. I've tried to put the positions that they play most of their games. BTA, I've put in the number 10 position because that's where he played a run of games. We have 25 players listed there. You can't see the goalies, but I've listed Rushworth, Dovin, and Wilson, all 3 of them. So we have 25 players there, I think, or 24. 24 it is. Is that enough? And do we need any more players, Vicky? What do you think? Do we need more, bearing in mind we've already brought 2 in? Or is this squad now enough to take us to the title or at least promotion?
Without any more injuries, it's enough, isn't it? But the risk is that you get more injuries, and so I think we need more depth. I'm particularly worried, I think, if you lose like a Grimes type, I think we need someone else in midfield or some sort of player that can step up and be that sort of tough goal like engine and that engine type player that sort of just keeps things ticking over. And I'm just worried that if we had injuries in the wrong spot, that could just completely derail our season. So for me, I think we could do with at least one that covers that type of position just to be secure. Yeah, and maybe like defence. So people are saying strikers. For me, I just think like there's so many goals in the team, and I can't believe that White won't score. Like this is a long drought for him, but I can't believe he won't. He'll get a goal. It would be helpful if we actually could get a penalty awarded when we deserve one, so we could take the penalty, score it, get it off his back, and then start scoring again. But I can't believe that he'll go the rest of the season without starting to chip in goals again. And so for me, the striker's the least priority. We've got people in the team that score goals. We've scored more goals than anybody else. We're creating chances, scoring goals, and we just need to shore up the midfield and defence. And so that's where I would like to see a few more bodies.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we need a striker, which is controversial maybe to our fan base, but we have 3. One's injured, yes. And we've just signed 2 wingers that are going to help with that creativity. So I agree, Vicky. I think we're fine for the attack. Claudio, where do you think we most need to strengthen now? We've got our depth on the wings and the midfield, attacking third maybe. What's the next most important bit?
Somebody who can play Matt Grimes' role properly, not a fill-in. I don't think Alan's good enough. He's okay. I just don't think he's good enough on a long-term basis. Josh Eccles has, I think, improved a lot actually, and I think he's proved in recent games he's come on and done a job for us. I also think defensively we are still lacking a bit of pace. We're all right on the flanks, ish, but are we? Because you got Kessler Hayden and Milan who are quick. De Silva's not quick. Bidders isn't quick. The 2 centre halves aren't quick. Brow can actually sprint, but he's absolutely useless with his head, as we've seen against Charlton and other teams. So I actually think on the left side of defence, we're still lacking. I reckon that side, definitely. So it wouldn't surprise me if we bring somebody in, like either a defensive midfielder or another maybe central defender, actually. Because I don't think Lampard came in, but to me, he's not good enough either. I might be a bit harsh here, and we are top of the table and all that, but I'm just taking it. I'm viewing this as if it was the start of the season, put it that way. I still think they're not strong enough, and we need stronger on the left-hand side of defence, either the middle of defence or somebody to play as a defensive midfielder. So you got so you can have two good defensive midfielders, basically.
Yeah, and I was going to ask. I'll come to you, Ken. I think the general consensus Lampard isn't good enough at the level anymore. We know he did a great job at Southampton, but one-off games, people can perform well. Is a centre half, especially, needed again, based on the fact as well that Bobby Thomas has now picked up a red card? Do you think a centre half could be through the door?
Absolutely. I think a centre half is on the list to come in, definitely, because I do, especially with Thomas obviously going to be suspended. Who knows? We may get, I hope we don't, but we might get another red card before the end of the season. So there's going to be more suspensions or more injuries. Definitely. I think the Wolf's come in and done a reasonable good job, but he's still a little bit probably not quite there yet with the way we play and stuff like that. I think he's not been great, but he's done a job. Lampard, you're right. I think he's done a good job against Southampton, but we need to go up a level really and get a bit more quality there. And I think Lampard knows that, and Lampard will have a centre half on his list. I mean, there's rumours about the guy at Sunderland, isn't there? So don't know whether that will come true or not, but definitely a defender. Yeah, we've conceded too many silly goals lately, haven't we? As well.
There you go. Well, yeah, we scored 2 away at Birmingham and couldn't get the job done. So better defence. We might go on and get 3 points in that game. Claudio, what about the comments? What are people saying in there with potential signings?
I still think we need something different up front though, as well. It's
BTA to come back.
Yeah, something different to BTA. Keno 71. Apparently, Perot is heading to Borough. Very good signs, but need a defender or two coming in. I was actually looking at the finishing places of the recent seasons. Us and Borough deserve to go up this season. We've been both knocking at the door. They've finished in the top 10 the last 5 or 6 seasons now and around the playoffs. So, I think the pair of us deserve to go up this season. James McSweeney, 2 quality young lads. Frank will get the best out of them, no doubt. Lee Lishman says, huge loss to lose Terry Yorath. Absolutely gutted. He was the first 11 COD players I knew in the late 1970s. God bless you, Terry, and thanks for the great memories. M. King says, that lad has played a legendary Son. Yes, Polsky says. Saw Terry score against Birmingham at Highfield Road. I was sat above the West End and I could still hear the foot on the ball today. Great memory. SA and Young are both under 21, so they don't count in the 25 max squad size. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh.
So we might get 5 or 6 coming in, Ken.
I'm not sure if I'm right in this. SA definitely does because he's English. I don't know if Yang does. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just not sure on that one.
Why don't you just give him 30? Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it? All these rules and regulations. Mark Rainbow, Yang seems to be like scoring coming off the left and hit it with his right foot. Chris Wincott, I think they do as loans wouldn't count if we own them though. Oh, interesting. Nicholas James, I do love the look and sound of our 2 new boys, Yang and Romain. Look like lovely lads too. Apparently Yang is considered to be as good as Son was at his age. Supposed to have an absolutely brilliant finish on him too. SA will win games for us too. Both of them will change games for us. Like, it's so positive, isn't he, old Nicholas James? Fordy says, I just like the fact that Doug wasn't a fan of loans, but the situation has changed and he's willing to do what is necessary. A couple more signs and we can see this season out and prepare for the Prem. I think he's realised the error of his ways. Mark Rainbow Yang had 20 minutes against us for QPR last season, but didn't make much of a contribution. That's because we're so good. Nicholas James, I really hope at least 2 more come in, maybe Pirro and 1 or 2 of the other areas. I'd love it if Pirro signed. Early signings are great and good, says Wayne Littlewood. Doug King changing his stance with loans. Does it show he still doesn't have the funds to buy anyone now that Hamer and Vic money has gone? thoughts on 09 from Sunderland, says Ian Small. We can have some thoughts on that in a minute. James Hollyoak, can you ask Ken to pronounce our new signings, please?
Sorry?
Sorry. Chris Brook, it does concern me. It's the same back four for the last 18 months and still leaking a lot of goals. I feel we need better defensively minded defenders at times. Would you spend now or try and ride it until the summer? Well, Chris, that's been my argument for a long, long time, that I don't think, and they're probably going to bump me on the backside because I keep saying it, I don't think they're strong enough defenders to get us up. I mean, they need a leader. And of course, we signed Matt Grimes, which may be the reason why. I mean, the thing is, defensively, are we the third or fourth best in the league? But pretty high
up there.
Yeah, we're up there.
You know, so it's just the fact that it's the chances we give up, and we've got an incredible goalkeeper. Nicholas James with Brandon back very soon. That will feel like a bit of a new signing. Hopefully we'll carry on where we left off. Thing is, though, it's going to take him a long time to get up to speed after a hamstring. He's been out for nearly 3 months. Lee Lishman, 2 different options in. I think under Frank, the coaches, they'll both come on fine. Hopefully now we get 3 more in. Sign this time, not loans, unless Pirro, please. M. King says, Jack loves saying his name.
I practiced. That's all it is.
You practice, I'm going to say it. This one here. Just our reality. Can someone help me understand why attacking players with a priority in the transfer window? We've been scoring goals for fun, apart from the last several games, yet leaking goals all over the shop. I think that was pointed out by Vicky, wasn't it? And SA was a fan's favourite, apparently, says Finn, at Millwall. Yeah, I like his swagger. Crucial MVTS. What's this about Calvin Phillips? Is there any truth in the rumours? Now, that would be a good signing. Basically, that would be a tremendous signing, I think. He's not at the best of times recently, but yeah, he would be good. Appledore Man says, as Bill Shankly, I think, said, the best form of defence is attack. Nick from Birmingham. What's that, traitors? Is it reality TV? I hate reality TV. Is this the same person who leaves the show early to watch I'm a Celebrity? Hypocrite.
Well, he's not here tonight. Maybe he's watching Traitors, catching up. I don't know.
I'll be watching Traitors later. Son is now a Coventry fan, of course, through James Maddison. Rob says, signings add depth, but our poor run of form coincides with Talk being out. Ill or injured, we need to buy number 8 cover. Also, urgent as Rudoni is no longer a box runner, so number 8 is key to give us an edge. M. King, I would love to see Nico Siegel in a Coventry uniform. Guy's a baller, but plays left or right back and midfield. Is linked with a move to Celtic right now. I'm not sure our results were as bad as we think. The form may not be good, but I don't think the results have been that bad, considering who we've played. Mark Patman, I think we still need 2 more players, a creative midfield and a great striker like Callum Wilson. Because who didn't we get points off? We talked about this the other night. In the recent matches, for me, it's Charlton away and maybe a point at Birmingham. I don't think we've done that badly in the other games. I can't believe anybody thought we were going to
be against Ipswich. I think getting no points against Ipswich was a bit disappointing, wasn't it? But I think at home I'd have expected we'd have got at least maybe a.
But not surprising.
I think you're right. No, but I think you're right. I think fundamentally we're not. If we'd have looked at the points realistically at the beginning of the season, we're not that far off, are we, for December?
And also, I think we played Ipswich at probably the wrong time, because if we'd have played them early in the season when they were pretty poor, weren't they? We probably would have took some points off. Well, it just so happened that we actually played them twice in December, which was just as they were coming back to form, which was unfortunate.
I think starting from Leicester, forget the Stoke game, but starting from Leicester, hopefully by then, this flu and everything else, we've all recovered. We've got a full squad back. I think then we can start saying what we should and what we shouldn't be doing and where we should be, basically. I think it's, we're all a bit harsh because we just feel like we should have kept winning and winning and winning, but it's not going to happen, is it?
It's not the real world, is it? The thing is, as well, Claudia, we've had our dip in. We've had this sort of like slight dip, had a bit of a rough spell, injuries and illness and whatever, but we're still top of the league. We've got through all of that, the difficult fixtures, all the things that we've had to deal with, and we're still top of the league. So now, if we can hit some form again, we can just sail away again, can't we?
Yeah, and Leeds last season won 1 in 9 over Christmas.
Yeah. And then they had a dip. They had a dip as well in about March time, because I actually thought they were going to throw it away at that time, but they managed to recover. So yeah.
So Mark Ramos says, I agree with Ken. My gut feeling is that we sign a defender and a striker. I wouldn't mind betting that neither of these will be loans. Paul Stratton, nice to start the window, Doug. When are the 2 quality experienced players that we need to get as automatics arriving so Frank can get the job done? We said this off air that I really wish we'd sign some experience. Superfan number 1, done bloke called Andy Swaybrook on Facebook says, trust me, Cal isn't coming. He called him Cal, so I can guess he must be right. We need Dan Neil from Sunderland, says Harris. That's 2 players from Sunderland now. 09 and Dan Neil. So Dave Saunders says Wilson, Pirro and Chilwell. Salop CCFC, someone new to link with Wolfie who is less volatile but is huge, and in my personal preference is just like Big Mo. So Mark Rober says, so we need any more players might not be the question. Can we improve the squad further for future should be the question. Well, when me and Jack was at the meeting, Jack, he said he was only going to sign players for the here and now, didn't he? He wasn't looking at the Premier League.
True, but they did repeatedly say in that meeting that they've been thinking about the Premier League since September and have to prepare in every possible way. You know, from the front to the back, literally from the pitch all the way to the backroom staff and the different rules and regulations. So they must be thinking about it, and they must be thinking if the players do come in that they have to be quality for the next division. If we sign them permanently, that is, we're not going to sign someone of Jamie Allen's quality now that would help us get over the line, but then be gone in 6 months. It'd be a waste.
Yeah,
correct. Dave Sports Photos, totally right about LADITT. These utility players are ultimately utility players because they aren't good enough in any one position. Mark Friel, I agree with Claudia about LADITT. I've never really rated him. Jamie Carter, Kitch is the ticking time bomb again like last season. Red card waiting to happen. Chris Brook, what about a Prem defender who isn't playing? Dare I say Mings, or that type of player who was played in the Prem, Championship promotion and international sides. Ironically, I think we need a Terry-Odd type midfield player. We're lacking real aggression in midfield, says Paul Stratton.
That's the one thing that, Ian said about 09 from Sunderland. He's one of those players that I think that fans of opposition teams probably can't stand, but I reckon if he's in your team, you love him because he gets stuck in, he's a bit of a wind-up, he doesn't take any prisoners, and actually is one of the things I don't think we have got enough of in our team. We're generally a little bit too nice across the board, and
a bit like when we signed Dennis Wise that time.
Yeah,
everybody hated him, but he's great to be in your team.
Yeah. But you want him on your side.
Yeah. 09 is very clever at not getting booked. He does so much stuff off the ball, and he never seems to get booked for it. Very, very clever. Gusto Audio, a midfielder of Dan Neil, Grimes and Torp or Rodoni would absolutely dominate. As good as Grimes is, there's much more to his game, but he doesn't have the freedom to play. A double pivot would free him. Dan Neil's a very good footballer. When I told my Sunderland mates, they're going, there's no way they're going to play for you. I'm not going to allow it. He's going, 09's my hero. It's quite funny. They're having a bit of a season, aren't they?
Well,
Nicholas James says, is it Dele Alli, Ken?
I can't say at this stage.
Mark Rainbow, to Wayne's point about the availability of money, I bet we are paying around 2 to 3 million in loan fees for each of these new lads. I bet there's some money, but not a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
Adam John Benfield says, with new arrivals on the wings, what players would you play out of position? For me, EMC, 10 or striker. Paragon says, we still need to deal with defensive problems unless we score one more than the opposition. Not sure I could cope with that. But if we went up, what a season. And King says, Nico Segal plays for the Canadian national team, was eligible for Croatia, but born in Canada. So choose Canada. Croatian fans were annoyed. Well, I want to play the World Cup. Well, there aren't they? Claudia, defensively, we have been awful for a while now. We need some help at the back, says Paul Stratton. Felt sorry for those two players. Their choice of beans and scrambled eggs were a little overcovered in that CCFC official YouTube ditty, says Salop CCFC. I don't know what you guys think to all those videos. I kind of get annoyed because I'm thinking they spent a whole day doing those videos, then make the announcement. But they're obviously there writing, because I had a chap at work say to me, he said, I think it was the second one. Was it SA was the second signing?
Yeah.
It's been there all day the day before doing all this filming. It's
The thing, isn't it, Claudio? Unfortunately, we're just a bit old, and it's
yeah. I just think announce the player. Fran Hunter, I don't think DK has gone back on anything he said was by getting loans. At the time he said no loans, he was right. Loans weren't right for us then. He's successful because he accepts things change. Right. Over to you, Jack.
Right. Well, that's enough transfer talk for now. The Oracle has spoken. He says 2 more are coming in. He can't give us details yet, but that will all be announced in due course. So let's move on to our FA Cup game. Now, first question, and I'm going to do a bit of meteorology right now. Is the game going to go ahead? I don't know. Looking out my Coventry window. Is this snow set to stay? Do we think the game will be on? Are Stoke good enough? Have they got undersoil heating? They were a Premier League club for a long time. They should have the facilities, but if the surrounding area freezes solid, it could be off, couldn't it?
Could be off. Yeah, it's supposed to be quite bad up Staffordshire area as well, so a bit worse than it is here.
It is grim up north.
Yeah. So I think it's a 50-50 chance.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh.
So don't plan anything yet.
Right. Well, assuming the game does go ahead, we've had a bit of recent success against Stoke and a bit of recent success in at least the third round of the FA Cup. Vicky, would we go full strength team here? Do we rotate? Do we give the 2 new guys a game? What would be your starting 11 coming up for this game?
I'd go a mix. I think it's always difficult, isn't it? Because you don't want to lose complete momentum, but you also need to give players a bit of a break. So there's that sort of mixed opportunity, isn't there? There's some players that are playing a lot of football who could probably do with a bit of a rest, but I don't think I'd want to go like completely weakened, because I think you also there's that momentum of just winning. We need to get back into a momentum of winning, and so going relatively strong, I think, and I suspect that Stoke will probably make some changes and go a bit weaker too. So you'd like to think that we do enough to. It's difficult because we don't actually really want to win the game because we don't want a big cup win because of the pressures it puts on our league position, but we also don't want to necessarily lose when we could really just do with starting that sort of winning momentum again. So yeah, I don't really know. That's not really very clear, is it? I don't know what I want.
Fair enough. Ken, do the 2 new guys start on the wings? Both of them?
Yeah, I think they'll both start, to be honest. Ideal chance to have a look at them, isn't it? Get some game time, have a look at them, settle them in. Who they start with is another matter. Now, I presume he's going to bring in Ben Wilson for a game. That's obviously maybe Bidwell will start. Jamie Allen probably. Kai Andrews maybe. But but I think you've got to keep some players in there. Rodoni, for me, needs game time. He's not quite up to scratch, so I'd play Rodoni because he's not quite there yet, is he? From what we've seen so far, he probably needs a few more games. And maybe Sims, I don't know, or even Hadji up top. Rest a couple, obviously, but not too many. We haven't got that many anyway to rest, have we, to be honest?
Well, are fit and not suspended. So we've got, Claudio, we've got Kessler, Hayden and Torp have both picked up injuries recently. We don't really know if they're going to feature. If they're available, do they start this game?
No, I think Milan's going to start. I think Milan and Jada Silva will start. Wolfie will play in the middle because Bobby Thomas, I think, is suspended, isn't he? Isn't this the first game he misses?
Yeah.
He'll play Kitchen and he'll play Grimes because he never misses a game, even when it's cup games. Say Torp's out. So what are the options? The chances are he has to play Rodoni. Eccles will start. So I reckon Eccles, Rodoni, Grimes. And I think he'll shove in one of the new lads, definitely to start. And it could be Sakamoto out for Esse. Is it Esse or Eze?
Essay.
Yeah.
Like you do in English exam.
EMC will start. And I think up top he'll stick with Sims. So is that 11?
Yeah.
I think so.
And Wilson in goal.
See, at one point in my head earlier, I was toying with Willie play a back five, and Willie, whoever plays at right back, I think if Kessler Hayden's fit, he would start, but Milan probably on the fitness thing. He could play Latti, Wolf, and Bidwell as the three centre halves, keep De Silva in at left back, but as a wing back, because obviously De Silva's had rest. He played Sunday, he'll play this Saturday probably, and then he's not going to play till next Saturday. So De Silva's had the rest. As long as he's avoided the flu, he should be one of the fittest players. Grimes, you're probably right with. Does Allen play to give Eccles a rest, give Torp more time? And then if he's playing a back five, that would leave two wingers and a striker potentially. So it could be the two new lads and either Hadji or Sims. Just an idea I sort of floated out there.
I'll be surprised if Jamie Allen's around this weekend.
You think he's still going to be missing?
Yeah, because if I think it was his brother, wasn't it? Whoever died. That was only last weekend, wasn't it? So it's a bit soon, isn't it, if there's stuff going on? And I'm not sure he'd be in the right frame of mind to be playing in the cold afternoon in Stoke, basically.
Can he do it on a cold, snowy night in Stoke?
Yeah, probably not.
It probably will be a cold, snowy night now because it probably gets cancelled on Saturday and we'll be having to go on a midweek now, won't we? Frustrating.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a shame actually that Milan. I think Milan could do with a break because he had to play through sickness, and I think on Saturday or Sunday, whatever day we were at Birmingham, I've lost complete track of days now. But he just looked like he could do with a break just to sort of recharge after the illness. Like the fact he had to play through that. Yeah, so it's a shame. It's a shame actually if Kessler Hayden's injured because if he wasn't, I'd have done that as a swap to give Milan a day off.
Okay, so to throw something out there then, does Eccles play at right wing back, leaving either Rodoni or Allen or Andrews to play alongside Grimes in a back in the midfield and go with the back five? So Eccles has got that bit of protection with three centre halves. De Silva's got a bit more licence on the left wing back because he's got Bidwell playing behind him. Kitchen gets a rest, and then the two new wingers and either Sims or Hadji, whoever gets picked, can have licence to stay up in the final third of the pitch almost. Is that not an idea?
Yeah, has Frank ever played? Because I mean, he can do a job there, can't he, Eccles? But I don't think has Frank ever played him there. I'm not sure he ever has. No,
I don't think he's played there for over 2 or 3 years anyway. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see who's not actually on the bench either on Saturday. Whether or not that's an indication where they might end up going out on loan, because they may shift some players around yet. It wouldn't surprise me if the young lad Shepherd goes out on loan because that'll give him.
Yeah.
He's obviously close to coming on the pitch, but maybe the lad needs to play some proper football.
Yeah.
I know he's playing under 23s. I'm going to go against the grain here. I want to win on Saturday.
Oh.
I don't. How many times? Let's look at it this way. They've had plenty of international breaks this season. It's just unfortunate that lately we've had these. It's the illness. We've not had many injuries. They've been sick, as in flu. Majority of them. There's only been a couple out with odd little calves here and a thigh injury. Most of it's been just been throwing up and stuff. And you know, how realistically, how far are we going to go in this competition anyway? So we may get through to the next round. You know, we've only been to the quarterfinal about 6 times in our history. You know, so it's not going to happen that we're going to have another long run in the FA Cup. So this game, winning this game, can only be good in terms of what's happened in the last few weeks, surely. What I don't want to see is like a 4-0 drubbing, and then we've got to try and pick the confidence up of the players who played. We will be playing the following league game because we can't rotate too many anyway. We haven't got enough to rotate, have we?
No.
Well, speaking of a 4-0 loss, since Stoke's promotion from the Championship in 2008, we've played them 12 times. We've lost only 2. Those 2 losses obviously being that 4-0 loss at home in our playoff final achieving season, and then 1-0 away, first game of last season.
Awful
so that's only 2 losses in 12. We've only drawn 3 of them, which means we've won 7. So our recent form against Stoke is actually really good. So, Ken, what do you think? Is that going to be? Is that good? Do we want to go and win this game to try and build momentum, or do we not mind if we go out?
No, I always want to win games. Wherever you want to go, you want to win games, don't you? You know, and I think we will win. I honestly do. But you know, if we get beat, it's not the end of the world, is it? So. We can concentrate. We haven't been in this position before, have we? So it's difficult for us. We're normally like in the bottom half, and we want a good cup run, don't we, to keep the season alive?
Yeah,
but now it's the other way around. We're at the top of the table now. We're sort of doing what your top teams do: rest players, and people have a go at them for rest players. You can see why they rest players, can't you? Because they want to concentrate on winning the league. So because that's more important. It's worth more money for the club. So, yeah, I don't like losing. I like winning games, especially against Robbins as well, because he'll be looking to get one back over us when he after losing, you know, a few weeks ago against them. So, I think we'll win. I think we'll have a good enough. We'll put a good enough side out there to win it.
And Vicky, you were saying that Hadji could get a penalty perhaps to get his confidence back. Well, if we draw this game, it goes straight to penalties. So could that be a way of kickstarting Hadji's confidence?
Oh, well, I suppose, couldn't it? Although it's not good for my heart rate. I hate a penalty shootout. That's just too much stress.
Are we all going? All 4 of us are going to be there, aren't we? And
Claudio is going, by the way, everybody. So.
Well, we did put a poll out on Twitter last month that is Claudio allowed to go, and the majority said yes, because either it breaks the curse or we lose and we're out and we don't really care. So it's a win-win, isn't it, Claudio?
It is, definitely. I'll tell you what, though, if you do put out what we class as a weakened team and only play about 4 normal starters, what I don't want to hear is our fans moaning and groaning throughout the whole game that it's absolutely rubbish because you've put out the reserves, because that's what will happen.
Yeah, the trouble is we've got a lot of fans going as well, and I think Lampard want to we won't want to let them down. You don't want to play all kids, if you like, because there's a lot of fans going there, and the fans will want to see some. And
I'll tell you what, Ken, he weren't happy at that defeat. No, so it wouldn't surprise me if he goes the other way and he ends up playing a virtually near full team just to say, get out there and earn your place.
Yeah,
because let's face it, the way we capitulated at Blues with the defensive errors and all that, as a team, in fact, not just the defence, it all starts up top at the whole thing, people not doing their jobs all over the pitch. So it wouldn't surprise me. He shoves out 8 or 9 regulars in just to say, sorry, lads, you got to keep playing until you start winning.
Yeah. But he doesn't like losing. Whatever game it is, he doesn't like losing, does he?
There's more chance that Mark Robbins puts out a weakened side than we do, I think, because they are more at risk of not even making the playoffs. You see, so they need to stop the rot in that respects. So since we played them when it was first against second, wherever it was, they've gone backwards, haven't they? Big time.
And what do you lot think in the comments? If we do go and beat Stoke 2-0, 2-1, whatever, even on penalties, is Claudio's ban lifted? I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. But we'll come to. I've got two final questions on this then, Vicky. Who starts up top? Does Ellis Sims continue to get the nod as our first choice of recent games? Or does Hadji play as you need to get some confidence, or that's it, Ellis will start against Leicester? Where do you sit on the fence?
There's arguments for both ways, isn't there? I mean, for me, you keep your informed striker in whilst they're in form. So for me, you keep Sims in, but I could definitely see an argument for giving White a shot and seeing if, because like I said earlier on, he's not going to go all season without scoring again. He just needs to get that first goal or two, and then he'll start scoring again. And the sooner that happens, the better for everybody, really. So yeah, but I mean, I think I'd be leaning towards starting Sims, but I'm not going to be. I'm not adverse to the idea that White gets a win out to try and get some confidence and form.
Well, either way, whichever one starts, the other's going to come on as sub after 65 minutes, aren't they? It's almost a guarantee. Claudio, who would you start up top?
I'll go with Sims, I think. I'm a bit annoyed with Hadji Wright at the minute. I thought when he came on against Birmingham, it didn't offer a lot. His attitude is not looking great, is it? The way he is at the minute. You know what? I watched back the Man United semi. I don't know why I keep doing this. I watched the semi-final again. The extended highlights. Sims and Wright up top. The last hour, that's including the extra time, were incredible. I cannot believe the transformation from then to now. What's happened? Where they're not moving like they did then. They looked incredible that game. If you watch it back, Ellis Sims, the movement, the running, he seems so powerful. Not seen it this season at all, really. I don't think. Even when they've scored some goals, it just hasn't really happened. I don't know why, but then when I look at it, Torp had the game of his life that last hour or so, and even some people might want to hear it. Callum O'Hare was absolutely brilliant that last hour. You know, so we've got a team of players. I mean, obviously Callum's gone now, but there's other players who come in who are better, I think, who can do it. And it's so frustrating because the pair of them, I spoke about this to Rich Overson, asked the question, how many times they've been booked? Ellis has been booked once, I think, in the entire time he's played for us, which is incredible for a striker who's so big as he is, which means he's not really laying anything on anybody. I think Hadji Wright's been booked about 8 times, and most of them for dissent, I think. You know, so in this day and age, not to only get one booking is incredible. You know, if it had been Gary Lineker's day and age, you had to kill somebody before you got a booking half the time. So different era and all that. So I just think whoever plays out of the two of them have got to be more physical. They've got to be more physical and more interested, because it just doesn't feel like it at the minute. And I think that's a lot of fans feel that way, regardless of the goals. Which is why people keep saying we need a striker, we need a striker. When actually, as Vicky and we've pointed out before, we've got strikers who can score goals, and I've said it, they can score goals, but they never look like they can score a goal. That's a bit back. I know it sounds a bit backwards, but I think you know what I mean by that.
There you go. One word answer from Claudio.
So yeah, Sims.
Sims, there you go. Ben, who would you start on Saturday?
I'll start Sims. I think you've got to start the man in form, because he's scoring, isn't he? And I just think the more games Sims plays, the better he gets. When you tend to leave him out and he comes on as sub, he don't have much of an impact, I don't think. But lately, when he's been starting, he's been scoring, and he's getting a bit more confident, I think. So yeah, I'd definitely play Sims ahead of Hadji at the moment, and you know, maybe bring Hadji on, as you say, 60 minutes or whatever.
See, part of me wants to start Hadji and be in the minority on this panel, but a part of me thinks if we start Hadji, he will go off as sub, and therefore if we draw the game, he won't be able to take a penalty, which we desperately want. So on that basis, I think I would start Ellis. So I'm going to agree with you, basically, just in case it is a draw. and Hadji can come on for the penalty shootout, which might help start with a bit of confidence. So on to score predictions, then we'll come some comments in a minute. But Ken, what do you think is going to be the score on Saturday?
2-1 win for Sky Blues.
So just to say as well, this won't count towards our points tally this season.
We'll get a bonus point if we...
No, neither of the other 2 cup games did, so I'm not going to count this one. But just to remind you all, I'm
here we go.
a bit like Coventry. I've got a 10-point lead that could all come crashing down, but I've got a 10-point lead at the moment. Ken, Claudio, Vic, you're all very close. But I've got nearly twice as many points as Miles, which is quite funny considering he's got a result right, a score right. Claudio and Vicky haven't, so that's your challenge, guys. Get a score correct. Like I say, this one doesn't count. So, Claudio, what are you going for? You're going to be there for, was it your second game this season?
What, in total?
Away game.
Away, I mean.
I think it is, actually. I think it is.
Wrexham was the other one.
Yeah, I think it's been postponed. Is that, can I predict that? Postponed.
Yeah, okay. The score is PP.
I think it's going to go all the way to penalties, and we're going to win it on penalties.
Oh,
what's the game score though? Is it 0-0, 1-1, 4-4? What are you going for?
2-2.
Oh, Desmond. Vicky, how do you think it's going to go?
I think a 2-1 win.
Same as me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go...
Mainly because I don't want penalties.
I'm actually going to go the same as the game against Sheffield Wednesday last year in the third round. I think we'll draw 1-1. We'll take an early lead. They're going to equalise last second, and we'll go straight to penalties. And I think we'll win on penalties. 5-4 maybe. I'll go. Yeah. So there you go. Claudio, what have you got in the comments before we wrap up the show tonight?
Right, I've got Gary Dulligan, is that? A player that would suit us to get over the line would be Barry Bannon. He's clever, articulate, reads the game, how to inspire all around him. Mark Turnbull, hi all. I wouldn't be surprised if nobody else comes in, to be honest. We need to press the reset button and go again for the Leicester game. Fordy says, I think we should forfeit with the inch of snow that has appeared. 2 inches here, says Salop CCFC, already in Salop. Stoke is built on hills, so, quote, high. It's, it's not, I'm not keen if it's going to be snowing. It's only up the road as well. I do think we give the 2 new players a chance to play in a game that isn't carrying much pressure. They could both start, to be honest, after I've said that lineup. Wilson might want to crack at the Champions League again with Celtic, perhaps. It would be a fairy tale to have him back, and a great story as the front man who helped his home club finally return to the Premier League. Would Jamie Allen play? Any news? We don't know, Jim Smits. Not heard anything. Back on track. Play the 2 new guys and right, the rest, the others. And Jamie Carter says, start Hadji as a goal could hopefully kickstart his season. Mark Rainbow says, you can't see the road outside here because of the snow. Tomorrow will be a bit grotty, but Saturday should be okay for the game. It's a modern stadium and off major roads. Glad we aren't playing Blackburn. Yes. Kevin Turner says, surely Andrews and Shepherd to start. Kitch must be close to a suspension. That can't happen with Thomas out for 3. Listen, Sky Blue Fans TV viewers, listeners, whatever Ken says is true, even as a weather forecaster. I don't think it would be a bad thing if the Stoke game is called off. Gives us another 2 weeks to prepare for Leicester then. And Kevin Turner says, win this round, get a Prem team at home, next round and lose. Won't be any headlines about another loss. Day Sport says, we can stick Latty out there. Vicky, defeat isn't the end of the world. I think it would be a bad thing if the Stoke game is off. I think it would not be a bad thing. Gives us 2 weeks to prepare for Leicester, says Frank Wood. Lee Lishman, I do think We are not in the same class as Leeds. They are a club with a big squad, lots of money and borderline Prem players as well, has a big youth system with players coming through. I think we've made it to the top on hard work, improvement and good coaching. We don't roll over sides, dominate. Last time was Sheffield Wednesday. It's interesting that when I look at Somerville now at West Ham, he looks half the player as he was for Leeds. Incredible. Superfan says, Claudio, your view of the cup seems to have changed. You were happy with the defeat of the day, fixture pile up, etc. True, but you know, every lady can change their mind, can't they? As Dawn did. Claudio, can you go because it's a cup game, but it's still banned from away league games? Oh, is that
What I will say is Claudio's not coming on the bus with me, so that does change things slightly as well.
Packagon. I'm not for dropping matches and go with a build of winning mentality. City to win 2-1. Well, my car needs to pass its MOT first on tomorrow. It's going to be a nightmare. I actually looked to see how much it would cost on an Uber, and it's about 100 quid. Yeah, so if anybody fancies giving me a lift on Saturday, I'm not available till after 12 though, so it's going to be a mad dash anyway. Mark Patman, we've got to get back to winning ways this Saturday, and Doug King will love a good cup run. I think Doug might be away at the minute. Mark Rainbow, there was a bit of moaning at Millwall when we put a weekend side out for the League Cup game. I think that was largely because Millwall weren't much cop either in that game. Yeah, because they all came on, didn't they? And then the main players, we looked at the team, didn't we? Nick from Birmingham, the Claudio ban is stupid. I agree, Nick from Birmingham. His presence at the game won't alter anything. I agree with that as well. Much like Haji Wright. If we're going to ban anyone, let's make it that show off with the beard. Let Claudio go, says Pagagon. David Jackson says, I read Vicky's comments in all forms and always talks with reason and pragmatism. I agree with whatever she says. There you are, Vicky.
There you go. Oh, thanks, David.
Vicky does write some articulate stuff actually online. And the trouble is, she ends arguments, which is rubbish, Vicky, because you respond to somebody and then they stop replying. I'm thinking, oh no, Vicky, you just killed it dead now. This could have been fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. Mick K says, if Claudio sings Please Release Me, Let Me Go, then yes, why not?
What now? You have to sing it now.
Please release me, let me go. For I don't love you anymore. Mark Rainbow, free the Italian one for the cup games only. Fran Hunter, I wonder why with Haji if he thinks he won't get in the USA World Cup squad. He certainly isn't playing with the passion of someone with a national team place to fight for.
No, he isn't.
James Hollyoak is asking, do they serve prawns in Stoke? I don't know. Sardines. Right, for a big bloke, doesn't half get bullied by even small defenders. Agree with Claudio. Haji needs to man up, says Wayne Brewerton. Nicholas James, I completely agree with you, Claudio, regarding Haji Ellis, especially Haji. Has he not? And he's not being an honest player at the moment with us because, as you say, you haven't seen him be unplayable. The last time was Sunderland at home, wasn't it? And I can't see anybody disagreeing with that. Well, he was incredible for that first half. Mark Patman says, yes, Claudio, ban is lifted because of his nice new haircut. Oh, thank you very much. 2-1 Stoke.
No one ever says anything about my haircut.
You can't see it, that's why. Appledore man, not sure Haji needs to man up. Seems to me concentrates on just playing football and defenders don't like it. And Steve Price says, I'm going to read as many more as I can and we're going to call it a day, I think. Steve Price, don't care about beating Stoke so long as our squad players have a run out. Concentrate on Leicester and the league, get into the Premiership. Or I should say it's Premier League now, Steve. Jack will tell you off. Must be our focus. By the way, if you're watching, I'm on BBC CWR tomorrow night on the Sound of the Fancast. So
I should be calling in.
Yeah, please do call in. Mark Rainbow, my prediction is the person currently sat next to me will moan about the cold constantly for the whole game and will lose it when it goes to penalties. So Salop CCFC says the power keeps failing where it is as well. Dave Sports photo says Vicky doesn't stop me, Claudio.
No, we have some chats.
Yes. And David Jackson, can we start a mini and essay Saturday? If so, we should start them. Well, yeah, that's a good shout, actually. And he said, one of them dropped a hint about Saturday. It sounded like he is playing Saturday. I don't know what he said in one of the videos. It was something about
he said, can't wait for Saturday or something like
that. Yeah.
We go again Saturday or something.
Well, they'll be in the squad either way, whether they're playing or not. They'll be in the squad, won't they?
Yeah. So, but I think in all, we have to look at the game on Saturday. Dave Sports, CWR still churning out that rubbish. Dave, I want it tomorrow night. I'm trying to up the ante.
So yes.
I think it's me, Oggy, Rob Gurney. I don't know who else is on. But I think we just got to realise where we are on the table. We are still top of the league, and that's not a bad thing, is it? At all.
I don't think Cliche Man's watching, so I'm going to say it's a free hit on Saturday, isn't it? He's not here to give me a yellow card. I think it is a free hit.
And you know what, Jack? I don't think anybody still wants to play us at the minute because they've not all these teams and the supporters have seen how we've been playing. They don't know, do they? They just see a team at the top of the table. Like my Blues mates, they all thought we were going to batter them on Sunday. They hadn't won a game in 8 or something, had they?
Yeah.
They're really worried. So that's why they celebrated like they won the FA Cup. Yeah. So
lad at work is a Blues fan. He reckons we're the best team they've played this season, Birmingham.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I don't think we played particularly well, but we did enough for a draw. We definitely, and he agreed, by the way, we should have had a penalty. So there you go.
Exactly.
Right, I think we're going to wrap it up there for the evening. Thanks, guys, for all your thoughts on the transfers and the.
You've been caught out. Sorry, Jack, to interrupt, but you've been caught out.
He's a silent listener. He's a silent listener tonight.
I took a gamble. Oh no! Tell you what, I'm racking up those cards like Bobby Thomas. I'm speechless now. Right, okay. Yes, thank you guys for all your insights on the transfers and on the Stoke game, and of course, thoughts and some memories of Terry Yorath. All 5 of the team are there on Saturday. So if we get there, if it's not called off, if you want to come and say hello to us all, we'll be dotted around somewhere or other, except Claudio will be turning up 3 minutes after kickoff. But catch him at half time. Hopefully we will see you all there on Saturday. And like I say, it's a free hit. I've already been red carded now, so I'll say it again. It's a free hit. Fingers crossed, whatever you want the result to be, there's positives to winning and losing. So we'll take it either way. And you'll see us Sunday night for our regular after show. So, don't forget to tune in at 7:30 on Sunday. So from the team, a big play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.